Great, great, I said.
Oh, we're live. We're just gonna chill out and give people a couple minutes to fill in. This is great. I haven't been able to land someone for a remote um, live stream in a while. Been having a lot of trouble with it.
And why is that?
It's just hard to schedule stuff with people. I was supposed to go live with somebody yesterday, um, but they're like 13 hours ahead of me, and we really miscalculated.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
at
Beth
least
Murtov,
because
Toasty.
our plans were postponed a few times.
Yeah. One dude canceled on me 3 times in a row. Never got him on.
Hello, everyone. We have a few people so far.
Thank you, Toasty.
So, how are you this evening?
Me, I am doing pretty good. I'm actually going to have dinner with my family tonight.
Good, great.
We're going to this place called Connor's Steak and Seafood. Do y'all have that around where y'all are?
Mm,
Mm.
nothing like that. Sounds interesting.
It's really good. By the way, can you tell them which country you're from?
I'm from Bulgaria. It's like in Eastern Europe for those who don't know.
Mm.
It's not a very famous country.
Yeah, I mean I've heard of it for sure, but Sean Berg says that he supports both of us on Patreon.
Yeah, thank you for that, Sean.
Hell yeah. But anyways, this is Vallathial. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello to everyone. I am a Chaos Gnostic Witch. I'm a Kayanite, and I'm first and foremost a theistic Satanist
Hell yeah.
from Bulgaria. That's pretty much without the details.
Yeah. Nina's still telling us to hurry up, but we're already live.
She'll see it eventually.
All right. I'm gonna answer her on my laptop because I don't know what's going on with her. So, shit. I'm glad I've had people on from like so many other countries this year. Um,
Robbie! I love you, girl.
hey, Robbie. I'm just letting Nina know that we're already live. I'm also gonna call her a whore. No. But
Bitch.
yeah. Okay. Okay, now we have Nina. That's good. But yeah. Soon I'll have a Canadian and a Singaporean in. Well, I'm hoping for the Canadian. He hasn't co-signed yet. But I wanted you to talk about your experience with Lulua a bit. So for those who don't know, Lulua, aka Kwalmana, is the bride and sister of Cain, one of the first witches who
Yes.
alongside Cain became a demon in the afterlife.
So she pretty much became a huge part of my life shortly after Cain started appearing to me, and she became my matron eventually. I have nothing but great things to say about her. Like, it's very kind of unverified gnosis, personal, but I think she's unwilling to approach someone unless they've introduced themselves to the Cainite current or they work with Cain. Sometimes she can come to people, but it's kind of a rare occasion, and Cainism is kind of a gate kept practice in general.
Mm.
But if any of you feel called to approach her, just do it because she's fucking amazing. She has helped me so much with shadow work, with getting in touch with my feminine energy because I had a lot of problems with that. She's always there when I need help for basically anything. She's very motherly. She's very protective. It's amazing. Truly an spirit.
Oh yeah, Lulua helped me learn how to set boundaries with spirits. Like she would ask for excess offerings in the hopes that I would refuse. But so how about Cain?
Kane, what do you want to know about him? Like, I can talk about him forever. I
Right,
love him.
whatever you think's most important.
He he's a very ominous being. Like, I mean this in the best way possible. Um, he's definitely not easy to work with. Like, he will make you face your shadow. He will take out everything that you're insecure about and slap you in the face with it.
Hmm.
He will make you adjust yourself like to the death current. He will protect you if you manage to develop a close relationship with him, but he does require offerings. It's also said in the books like Liber Fox for 1, 2, and 3. He requires lots of dedication, prayers, and that's about it.
Mm, very nice. Um, I think originally learned about working with him from Michael Ford, who I'm not that much a fan of, but I did some of his rituals.
What's
Um,
your experience with him? I'm
huh?
curious. What's your experience with Kane? I'm curious. I don't
Um,
know many people who work with him.
yeah. My experience with Cain. Well, again, I learned about him from those books, and then eventually I found better information specifically from the 182 current, which is really helpful.
Mhm.
Um, he appears to me as like a humanoid with dark skin, horns, and black eyes, as well as fangs. There was one chick I initiated back in the day who Kane volunteered to be her patron demon, like right off the bat. We found out that she had practiced Italian folk magic with him
That's
back in
very.
the day. Like no, not back in the day, in a past life. Strugonaria, I believe it's called. Strugonaria, he's depicted as not only the first witch, but also like the man trapped in the moon. I was wondering, what do you have a take on the moon thing?
No, that's the first time I'm hearing about that, actually.
Have you picked up any lunar attributes from?
Mm, no, not really. But it's interesting that he appeared to you in that way because to me, he's always the way he's usually depicted in art. Like, his face is sliced in half and he's half a skeleton, half man.
That's how he's
Always.
depicted. Okay, yeah, okay. I haven't seen that art then. Um, so the 182 current set believe has this approach where Baal is the unification of Cain and Lulua. Personally, I'm not sure I agree with that so much. What about you?
Mm, I don't think I agree with that either. I mean, it could be true, but we never know.
Hmm. It could be one of those things unique to the 182 current because it's odd.
Hmm.
I see Cain as partially an avatar of Baal and partially an avatar of Samael. Um, he told me that his act of killing Abel was a sacrifice to his true mother, but he didn't specify who that was.
His true mother. Well, in the stories and the mythology, his mother is Eve, but his true mother, I don't know.
Some say it's
Yeah,
Lilith,
it
but
took mind.
I was never sure what to make of that. But I feel like it could be Neymar, but that's just intuition. Either
Yes,
way,
be
that
her
make
too.
you feel that too?
Yeah, but if my memory is correct, I've also read that Nema is like a daughter of his, but that's of course unverified gnosis. There's
Hmm,
many depictions.
interesting. So, what's your experience with Satan been like?
He he's the first deity I ever approached. Like, I've confirmed that he's been with me since I was a child. I've had some experiences where I would sit alone in my room doing whatever a child is doing. I'm talking very little, like 6 or 7 years old. And I would feel this extremely dark energy suddenly enter my room, and I would get freaked out and scared because I didn't know what it was. But eventually I'd confirmed that it was him. But he was just waiting until I'm mature enough in order to approach him properly and communicate with him properly, because back then I had no idea what was happening. And shortly after, I started learning more, reading about Satanism, and I had a friend channel him for me the first time I interacted with him, because my psychic senses were not developed. I could not use tarot. I was a freshly beginner. Like, I had no idea how to do these things. And from then on, we started working together, and it's been absolutely incredible. He is like maybe my highest priority when it comes to my spirit team. The
So,
one priority.
Lucia said, "Who is this diva?" Which I think is a compliment. That's a compliment, right? Is that how that
Thank
works?
you, Diva. I'm Vallathial, Val for short. Nice to meet you all.
Someone asked about our experience with Lucifer and Belial.
Belial is another spirit I work very closely with. With Lucifer, I've interacted a couple times, but I don't have many experiences with him.
Um, Lucifer and Belial are very, very close together. If one's present, the other probably is too, even if they're not revealing themselves. I think Michael and Raphael operate kind of the same way. But we'll talk about my experience with Lucifer's dark aspect. I used a ritual from the Atlantean current of this primal craft writer named Cytheria, and I called Lucifer's dark aspect. And the spell talks about serpents slithering out and stuff. Um, and the serpents bit me. They manifested made out of shadow when I was in a dark closet. I was called into the dark closet because it's the darkest part of the room. But I went in, closed the door. These shadow serpents came out and bit me. I'm like, oh, the part about venom in that spell is literal. I didn't know. But as for Belial, I've talked about my experience with him to no end, so I'm gonna skip that one. Um, the fire-breeded virgin asked if you have any experience with poltergeist. Also, Lucia confirmed that Diva is a compliment, and Robbie says I'm old. It's Gen Z slang. But yeah, poltergeists.
Poltergeists. No, I've had more experience with shadow people than poltergeists.
Hmm. Shadow people are fun. What about
Yes.
Abaddon?
Abaddon, I've never interacted with him.
Hmm.
Can't say
I,
much.
I like Abaddon for sure. He really helped me get more into necromancy. Um, I showed how in the compendium of Abaddon I wrote for with Bald. Um, he can manifest in the in between, unlike most spirits, which means he's good for protecting you from like rogue shadow spirits and shit like that.
That's nice.
Lucia said, "Have you heard of Lucifer of the Abyss?"
Lucifer of the Abyss. No, not so far.
Me neither. Also, we have 30 current live viewers. Everyone, make sure you like the stream. Let's see what other you listed a few spirits that you work with. How about Moloch?
Moloch. I recently started working with him. Um, Before that, he used to appear from time to time, mostly because I'm around Satan a lot. Like, well, more like Satan is around me a lot. And from my experience, at least, the two of them are also very close. And he would just appear sometimes in my space, or mostly when I'm astral projecting, and we would have like a short conversation. He would scold me to do my shadow work or up my protection and then disappear. But then I think a month ago, yeah, I started thinking of him for no fucking reason, like dreaming of him, hearing and seeing his name everywhere. So I approached him about it, and that's how it came clear that he wants us to work together. And so far, I've had only positive experiences.
So, random account for a god is asking about Beelzebub. I don't have a lot of real standout experiences with him.
Me neither.
God damn. Um, what were the other spirits you said would be good to ask you about?
Hmm. Well, you can ask me about Nema. There, you can ask me about Asmodeus. I mean, I have his sigil on my hand.
Hmm. Let's go with Asmodeus.
My experience with him is very funny because when I was 16, I learned about the Quetzal for the first time, and my stupid ass was like, I'm gonna try and speedrun that shit. And somehow I managed to pass until I reached Gola Chab. And that's where he kicked my ass really fucking hard.
Hmm.
And I was left with the impression that he dislikes me. And some years passed, and then eventually I came to interact with him again. And he confirmed that he disliked me from the beginning, but then I guess I proved myself to him that I've changed, I've matured, and he gave me a second chance. And since then, he's been one of my closest spirits.
So, someone asked about Samael.
Did you work with Samuel? Yeah. Samuel, to me, like, you guys don't have to agree with that. To me, uh, Samael is another aspect of Satan. Like Samael and Satan to me are the same being. Like some people argue that the Archangel Samael is just a separate being, but to me, he's the Archangel aspect of Samael is just like something like an angelic mask. At least to my personal notice. Like you don't have to agree with that from my experience. So yes,
So, how do you feel about the ideas that Samael is the father of both Asmodeus and Cain?
it makes perfect sense to me.
Oh yeah. Abaddon is, according to Sean, Abaddon is good at helping one see who is truly your friends and enemies, and Abaddon helps you see through all bullshit. Abaddon can also rid one of weakness. That's just a gnosis I have in mind.
Definitely sounds like a great spirit.
He said, I'm paying you guys to advertise him. He paid me a necromantic initiation. Um, but how about your experience with Neymar?
She appeared to me when I was, mm, or shortly after I became a Satanist, like seriously, after I started practicing. And at first, I just started worshiping her because I didn't know much. Then I started gathering some knowledge, interacting with her more. And she, alongside Lua, has helped me incredibly with just becoming my true self more, like reconnecting to the divine feminine, to those aspects of me, because mm, I actually had this issue where for some reason I would never approach like a female demon or deity. um I don't know why I did that. Maybe because of maternal figure issues or something, but that's just how I was. And she came and was like, that's not right, like we have to fix that, that's a problem. and she has healed me so much that I can't put it into words. She
Hell yeah.
forced me to heal, basically.
Hmm. So, Custer the Dragon says, if you get a sign from a spirit, how do you know it's a sign?
Usually, you will know, like, it will come to mind.
I would say context clues.
Yeah, too. Like, I can give an example. For me, um, shortly after I accepted working with Moloch, I saw the most perfectly shaped cloud of a bull head. Like, it had the nose ring and everything. It was insanely perfectly shaped. I don't do any drugs, I promise. I'm not crazy. Another thing, another thing is usually after rituals with Cain, I will somehow see ravens. Ravens are one of his totemic animals, and where I live, ravens are not common. So I usually take that as a sign, as a confirmation that the ride has been successful.
Someone asked if we have any experience with Kimbanda. I'm pretty sure neither of us work with that. Random account for a god said, aren't all demons fallen angels?
At least I don't think so.
Fire breeded virgin, I would say that Abaddon and Apollo are the same being.
I mean, the names are kind of similar, but I'm not so sure about that.
Well, yeah, the Greek version of the name Abaddon is Apollyon, meaning destroyer. So Apollyon and Apollo, who is also known as Apollon, um, both of their names come from the same Greek root word to destroy. Both are associated with divinely ordained death. Both are affiliated with locusts. Um, let's see. Abaddon, the numerical value of the name Abaddon in Gematria matches the Hebrew word wine, and wine is sacred to Apollo.
And sensual and glamour magic, Nema, definitely.
Anonymous Boss said, do you have astral projection most of the time when you go to sleep?
When I go to sleep, very rarely.
Mm.
Usually I do it consciously.
Yeah, I never do it consciously, but I do have out of body experiences in my sleep once in a while.
But it's a rare occasion. Usually it happens when I'm very physically exhausted. I don't know why.
It's best to call upon when feeling overwhelmed or unstable that can help to ground you and center you back to reality.
Belial, definitely.
Say Azazel.
Oh, I don't work with the nurse. Now that
Do you have more you can say about Neymar?
oh, you can ask me questions if anything comes up to mind.
Yeah, username Samael was also going to recommend Azazel. The fire breeded virgin recommends Vereen for that same purpose.
How does Nema appear to me? She appears as a very stunningly beautiful woman, obviously with pitch black eyes, deathly pale skin, and very long black hair and horns sometimes. And she's almost always like naked or wearing something so beautiful and gorgeous that my brain can't fucking comprehend it.
Hmm. What could I do for a successful rite in love, glamour, or sensual magic?
Mm, I'm not very experienced in glamour magic, to be honest, but to be successful in any rite, it in general, it really matters how you perform it.
For sensual magic, I don't do much of that shit, but there was one chick I did it with. Um, I called on Quililitu, my matron demoness, the daughter of Lilith. Um, Basically, what we did was we both, bled. I bled from both shoulders. She bled from uh, her palms. She offered a candle to Lily too. We bled on her sigil as an offering, and we said that the rest of the blood was an offering to her too. And then we drank each other's blood during sex.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have we worked
How? Hmm?
Agrat Batma a lot? Um, I haven't worked with her, but I've interacted with her once in the afternoon.
Semi also that Jezebel teaches advanced love magic.
Hmm.
Um, how do I recommend initiating through the translepothic labyrinth? I recommend going out of body and having a demon guide you through it.
Best way. Hmm. What can I do to protect myself from any vampirism? Do any of you have a specific prayer for protection? I don't have a specific prayer for protection, but I would recommend reaching out to a spirit that rules over vampirism, like Belial.
So I have enchanted jewelry to protect me from that stuff. I have. I like to make a suit of armor around myself with the energy of shadow of Saturn, or just do general Saturn protection spells. Um, yeah, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Who's an underrated spirit that people should work with more?
Moloch and Naima. I don't see a lot of people working with her.
Do you, were you in dark? No, no, no. That's not directed at you. Um, spirit. Okay. There's not a specific. The only guide to spheres that I know of is Liber and Xeros, which one of the co-authors has said we shouldn't use. You can always go for the Stellar Outlands with Enoch Petrocelli's book, The Black Witch. Another, sort of transclopothic realm. Well, it's sort of intraclopothic, something like that.
What can you do to start Cliphotic journey and what is needed? I would suggest developing your psychic senses like properly first. Um, Going through the basics, mastering the basics is the most important thing. Um, Practice shadow work often because the Clifford will first and foremost make you face your shadow. Um, what else? Be fucking brave. Don't be a pussy. Like face the trials. Like even if your fucking life falls apart, don't give up. Because to give up is to fail.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have any spirits or rituals suggestions for attracting more money and abundance, or a job in one's life? I'm like, yeah, Azazel. What about you?
Hmm. I haven't really done much money magic, I guess. Mammon, the most famous one.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. A story time up, but I will spell soon. One I did at the boot camp. So, are you part of an occult organization?
Yeah, I'm part of Temple Vesperitas, and if people are curious about us, there's a link in my Instagram profile. They can go directly to the temple website and can learn more about it there.
Your link tree is in the description, and I noticed that it has that there. So, what makes
Yeah,
you want to join this group, and how long have you been in there?
I've been in there for about half a year now, maybe longer. We started very small and we're growing very rapidly,
What made
and
you go on?
it's, you know how toxic occult Discord can be.
Yeah,
Like Discord is a platform that the temple uses, but we're not only on there. We have a website, YouTube channel which is called Cypher Grove. It's very informative and extremely helpful, and it's literally the only non-toxic occult community that I've ever been. The people are so helpful. everyone is so accepting and understanding, where there's no political discussions, none of that bullshit. We're friendly and open to beginners, and nothing but positive experiences.
Hmm. So, are there, ranks? If so, which rank are you?
There are ranks. I'm an imperator, which is under the owner, but that's for the Discord management mostly.
Did they
There, are,
did they get that from the Cabal?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because that's what they're called in the Cabal. Partially because Dreadwood really liked Rome, but
Someone asks how we met. Should we
I'll let you.
should we tell them the full story?
Okay, so I'll I found out that a content creator named Corvid Consciousness had groomed my friend Nina when she was underage and abused my friend May. So the three of us outed them. They came forward, and then Corvid Consciousness, who has his own Discord, he's running his mouth like, "Oh yeah, no, VK just seduced my victims and made them think I did something wrong." And then you were talking shit like, "Yeah, it's such a shame that he mesmerized those two." I'm like, she put mesmerized in quotes like I said it. I was like, fuck this hoe. Now here's how you can tell me what you're in, Biz, but what I imagine is you're sitting there like, Corbin isn't a pressing predator. I dated him. I would know.
No.
Wait, how old was I? Fuck! You're like,
Yeah,
damn it, I'm a victim.
so
No, God.
me and VK were supposed to be enemies, but how the turntables?
One of the people he was asking to help curse me.
Oh, but he was flexing to me about cursing you.
Help from two people? Nah.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna go very much into details because it was truly an uncomfortable and traumatizing experience. The person we're talking about was my former mentor, and I was one of the many women that he took advantage of.
You're the youngest one we know of him going after. You were 16, right?
17.
Hmm. Because I got that next up. Um, um, I have this bad urge to work with infernal beings. I have been doing the rituals to connect with the infernal, and it feels like it hasn't been successful.
Wait, where's that question? I kind of lost track of the chat.
It's from Norma. She's saying that her attempts to approach the infernal don't feel like they've been successful. What's your advice to her?
My question to you, Norma, is why do you feel like you haven't been successful? Like, where is the issue here? Do you struggle to initiate communication with them, or are you scared? Have you deconstructed your religious beliefs? If you come from a religious background, that's very important.
I would say keep trying. If you
Yes, that
try to
too.
summon a spirit and you feel like they aren't there, just assume they are and make whatever request you wanted to or make to make.
Yes, just keep trying.
Random account for a god really recommends Bune for money magic. Yeah, I've heard about good results with him.
Fire breathed virgin says that sucks. Corbin turned. Was he always like that? Pretty much yes, but I was too young and I genuinely loved that person. So I was very blind to it. But then when other people started coming forward, I just put two and two together and started remembering everything. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, someone asked me what how I think the Tree of Weird from the O9A differs from that of the Sephiroth. So, David Mayat created his own like artificial magical current to initiate through the spheres. The Tree of Weird does delve into Cliffothic territory a bit, to my understanding. Nibirius told me, "Hey, this shit is designed for racialist purposes." He said that it was like subhuman alchemy, um, intended to bring out one's European DNA. I met this chick, Carline. She's Japanese. She left that group a long time ago, but she was initiating through the Tree of Weird, and she said that she thought it helped activate her Japanese DNA. But yeah, it's racialized. I believe there are currently 9 imperators in the Cabal. I believe Kane Sarial is still listed as an imperator, but he wanted to start a splinter group, and Razorith found out and kicked him. Flexing curses. LMAO, VK can never fall. What's your
I don't
experience
know
with
when,
Goth? Hmm?
I don't know anything about the Cabal, to be honest. Well, I know some things, but I've never researched it in depth. I think you were involved with them at some point.
I was in the Cabal for 3 years. I left 2 years ago. Um, I shortly before I left, I got offered the title of Imperator, and at first I accepted, but then I like made my mind up before they had a chance to appoint me that I should just amicably leave. And then, of course, some of them are still. Obviously, there are the wannabe cult leaders in that group, like Jeffrey and Robin, who are like really trying to make it hard into a cult. They really talk a lot of shit about me and just like slander me.
And that
But
sucks. That's why I don't trust occult groups anymore, and that's why I'm happy that I found this temple that I'm part of because we're strictly against cultist shit.
mm,
Like, cultist shit is Christian behavior. Don't do that if you're an occultist. There's no fucking point.
so, what entity do you recommend working with for acquiring DMT?
DMT. I'm gonna sound stupid, but what's that?
It's a hallucinogen people use for spiritual purposes. Joe Rogan's is like infamously in love with it.
Mm, I've never done anything harder than weed, dude. I can't help you with that.
Um, the I've only taken 2 hallucinogens, well, 3, and DMT wasn't one of them. But if you're looking for a demon to help you get it, Cane should be good. Um,
Yeah.
Probably Prufloss as well. I feel Abaddon and Neymar could also be good options. Oh, and Azazel. But yeah, those should any of those should work. Anyways, I have to get ready for dinner with my parents. So great to see you.
All right. Great to see you too, and thank you for having me.
Of course, her link tree is in the description. You can follow her on Patreon. I believe her Instagram is in your link
Yes.
tree. Yeah. And if you're looking for a group to join, maybe the Temple Vesperitas is for you. What does that word mean, Vesperitas?
Vesperitas. You can read about it in the website. There's
Oh,
everything. I'll leave that for the people to
all
read
right.
about. It's pretty exciting. There's a lot of information.
All right. Anyways, that's all for now. Have a great night and enjoy your immortality. Check out the link tree in the description below if you want a little more Vallathial in your life.
And VK in your life.
I didn't put mine in the description, but okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.